What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings. It is Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. We're about to play AC Milan very shortly, so make sure you tune in to that watch along. We might be live right now as you're watching this, so check that out. But before we get into that, let's get straight into the meat of the action. And Leeds United have reportedly held talks to sign this unplayable £20 million forward for Daniel Farke. Who is that man in question? It is Liverpool winger Ben Doak, who would likely cost more than 20 million, and this is coming by way of the Athletics' Baron Cross. Leeds United are reported to have interest in him and have had internal discussions to sign Ben Doak. Now, will we get this deal done? Very, very young, very promising player, of course, but it is just internal discussions at this time. Could be a good acquisition for Leeds, but I think we should be looking elsewhere. But it is definitely one to keep your eye out for. Just a small story to start off, just to whet your appetite for some things to come. Leeds United, in slightly more promising terms, on the other hand, are reportedly closing in on an underrated striker who has scored over 200 career goals. I wouldn't say underrated is the word to use for him. Maybe back in his heyday, he was a little bit more underrated. It is, of course, Mehdi Taremi, who Leeds United are still seriously in the hunt for. And this is surprising me, to be fair. I thought Taremi was going to be one of those names that just came in and he was gone. Kind of just paper talk like that, but the Taremi links are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And according to Corriere dello Sport, as relayed by Team Talk, Leeds United are now closing in on signing Mehdi Taremi from Inter Milan and fending off competition from West Ham, I don't know why it says West Ham United, West Ham, Nottingham Forest to take pole position for his signature there. Given that Farke wants Premier League level quality, Leeds' pursuit of Taremi should come as no surprise. Well, it does come as a surprise because he's 33 years of age. We pick him up for a relatively cheap deal. Yes, his wages might be slightly higher. Than that might be a bit of a stumbling block here. But that doesn't seem to me like the star striker Leeds have been holding out to spend our big casharoonie on. So it does come as a little bit of a surprise to me. I don't know if it comes as a bit of a surprise to you that Leeds United are closing in on him, but Leeds are closing in on signing Taremi. One to keep your eye out for. As I said, good experience could definitely help nurture some of the younger players like Harry Gray within the setup. But do I think this is necessarily the answer for Leeds United? I mean, then you'd be looking at a situation where we've got Joel Perot, Nemecha, Taremi, and Gray as our four strikers for the Premier League. Unless if this means Harry Gray is going to be dropped further down the pecking order, he's going to be put to number 5, which I wouldn't necessarily like for his development. But I mean, if we could get another top striker on top of this, I think that would be good. But if Taremi was the only striker we were going for, I would not be too enthused about that one. Now, speaking of little surprises, though, Leeds United have reached an agreement for signing a certain player. Who is that player? It is another striker, so maybe we could be closing in on both of them. You never know. We are going back into the Serie A once more, and Leeds United have made an attempt to sign Sassuolo's Andrea Pinamonti this summer. That's according to journalist Alfredo Pedula, and he reports Leeds United have been following the 26-year-old for a long time. First time I've heard about this in a hot minute, though. I'll tell you that for free. The striker scored 11 goals and registered an assist from 37 games for Atalanta last year. Pedula claims Ladea have made contact for the Italy international, and Sassuolo will be open to a sale if there's a suitable offer. The journalist reports Leeds have found an agreement with Sassuolo without providing any further details of the terms agreed between the two clubs. That may not be a matter as the front man has turned down a move to Ellen Road and there's no explanation for his rejection. Daniel Farke's side will have to convince the player to move to Ellen Road to get this operation over the line. Who are we talking about here? It is this man, Andrea Pinamonti. As we said, he's 26 years of age, place of birth Cles, he's an Italian citizen. He's played 37 games from the central forward position last year, 36 in the League 1 in the Italian Cup, registering 11 goals and 1 assist as aforementioned in just 3,000 minutes of football. pretty decent stats, as he said, for the Serie A. You know, not necessarily the same stats as Artem Dovbyk, but then he's got a couple of years on him. Not even necessarily as good as Nikola Kristovic, who Leeds United have been in the hunt for as well. You can see a lot of his goal contributions within the league, at least, came within that first half of the season. Second half of the season, not the best for the guy. Granted, he was playing off the bench quite a bit. 2 goals in his last game for them. And then other than that, the second half of the season, he only picked up 4 goals, really. 2 of them coming in his last game. So definitely not hitting rock-hot form right now, which is definitely something to think about when it comes to signing him. But as I said, if this comes with someone like Taremi, maybe that could be a decent option. As he said, 15 million euros. But then again, you got to look at the fact he's turned us down as well. I don't know what's going on. We're absolutely destroying the Serie A for their strikers right now, but they're all turning us down. Mateo Joseph, speaking of strikers who have turned us down, though, drops a bombshell after Leeds United transfer. He has, of course, left. He is now on loan at RCD Mallorca and has had a few things to say about it. Hi everyone, as many of you already know, this season brings on a new stage in my career. I'm going out on loan, but I didn't want to leave Leeds without sharing a few words. My time at Leeds United has shaped me both on and off the pitch. I arrived full of hope, started with the under-21s, dreaming of playing for the first team, and that dream came true. I had the opportunity to grow, to establish myself, and to experience promotion within the Premier League. Yes, he did. And to share that on the pitch with great teammates and great professionals. It is true that I would have preferred things to end differently. There are situations that haven't been easy, and sometimes not everything depends on you. I trust that time puts everything into perspective, and maybe one day I'll have the chance to tell my side of the story. Now it's time to gain minutes, keep developing, and face new challenges with the same ambition and commitment. I leave motivated and thankful, knowing this is just another step on the journey. See you soon, Mateo. That see you soon is very, very interesting there. Is he saying see you soon to Mallorca fans, to his fans, or to Leeds fans? Now, the way this statement is contrived here, it's looking to me like he has no intention of ever coming back to Leeds United. I mean, granted the fact this is a loan move, and the 49ers hierarchy have said they're a big fan of him and they want to keep him around. That's very, very interesting to me, the way he's worded this. If you read between the lines here, it does seem like he has absolutely no intention of coming back. I don't know what he's been told by the 49ers, whether they're saying you're going to have a buy option next year, or we want you to come back. I don't really know. Maybe he's waiting to see what happens if Fark gets sacked, etc., etc. But as I said, we'll have to see what happens here. We'll have to see how well he plays over in Spain and let the dust settle on that one. But that is what Mateo Joseph has had to say about this one. There is also a reported fee being scheduled for Dilane Bakwa, the winger who Leeds United have been looking at strongly. Bakwa is on the radar at Ellen Road, with the Whites looking to strengthen their left side of their attack before August. The West Yorkshire outfit missed out on Igor Pajau, and now have been told another one of their targets will cost between 26 and 30 million euros if we were to get him. Registered, of course, 6 goals and 9 assists in the last year. Left-footed winger, but he does actually play a lot of games on the right-hand side of the pitch. Isaac Johnson, journalist, has also even said Strasbourg winger is of interest to Leeds United. Nothing more of yet, and Nottingham Forest appear as the front-runners despite having a bid pushed back. He plays predominantly right-wing, and that is not necessarily something that is too intriguing if you're a Leeds fan, because we should be going for someone who plays predominantly left wing. However, maybe Nonto could shift over to the left-hand side. So you never know what's going on here. But we have been reported £30 million, and we'll have to wait and see if Leeds are going to actually step up our pursuit of Bakwa, because that name has been lingering around for a few minutes. Speaking of names lingering around, one of them is James Justin from Leicester, and the latest story is not a good one. He has been available for their pre-season games, or not their pre-season games, their games, Leicester City. Of course, Championship starting earlier than the Premier League, and it is being stated that Cifuentes rates him very highly and wants him to remain a Fox. Leicester City are very keen to keep hold of James Justin, despite the fact Leeds, I believe Forest and a couple of other sides are very, very interested in James Justin. So we'll have to wait and see how that one unfolds, but that is not a positive story because Leeds need backup options. Now, just quickly on the Milan game, this trio will miss the game against Leeds United and Chelsea. Alex Jimenez, Christian Pulisic and Warren Bondo have been left out of the squads for the upcoming friendlies against Leeds United, which is happening very, very shortly, so they will not be featuring today. Speaking of someone who will not be featuring today is Khannous, who Leeds United and Forest are very keen on getting. Leeds United are obviously quoted, not Forest, sorry, Palace and West Ham. Leeds United are obviously very keen to get him. We've had talks with him. Apparently, he's keen to join the club. It is going to be around £25 million if we are to get him, and we have to wait and see how the dust settles on this one. Are we going to trigger his release clause before it ends? We're running out of time, mate. We're running out of time if we're going to, so we're going to have to move quickly on that one. But he will not be featuring today. The move is not taking imminent movement within this weekend, so we'll have to wait and see come Monday whether we make some big maneuvers on that one. Let me know what you think about all these stories, though, down in the comment section down below. For now, though, I will see you very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.